G'day cheeky dogs, today we're going to be breaking down the Bluey Season 1 episode Taxi.
This episode of Bluey is called Taxi.
We are going to be going through all of the Easter eggs, the Australian references, the weird censorship as well that happened with this episode, particularly in the last scene, and why it was cut and it wasn't cut, and just everything that was going on with that censorship, as well as all my favourite parts of this episode and how I felt about it overall.
Beep, beep. Anyone need a taxi?
Taxi! Taxi!
But if you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that like button down below if you love Bluey as much as we do here, as well as that subscribe button and that bell for notifications so you know whenever I release any other Bluey videos. G'day cheeky dogs, my name's Margie and I'm an Australian currently living in America. So let's get started then with our traditional Easter eggs, and for a while in Season 1 we haven't been seeing the long dog, but in this episode we absolutely do. It is on the bench just next to Chili. And of course we have the pineapple Easter egg too, which is just scattered all throughout the house, in the living room, the kitchen, and in the sunroom as well. One of my favourite references though out of this is the reference to a very old classic Australian TV show from the 90s called The Late Show. I should mention as well that this is totally backed up in Season 3 in the episode Tradies, that Joe Brumm is a massive fan of The Late Show, because not only did he get one of their stars, Mick Malloy, to come on as the voice of Chippy, but he also used a lot of his iconic lines from The Late Show in the actual episode, such as "Not here for a haircut, Chippy."
I'm not here for a haircut, Tommy.
So just proof again that Joe Brumm is a big fan of The Late Show. But this specific one is to do with the granny scene. So this is before we got like our actual traditional Bluey grannies. We got the prototype grannies of Bingo and her mum walking across looking for sausages.
What is it now? Why have we stopped?
We need to get some sausages, love.
How many do we need?
Oh, I don't know.
And 1000% I definitely think that this is a reference to The Late Show.
Whenever I'm in a rush or need to get somewhere really quickly, an elderly person always gets in the way. And I was just thinking the other day, do you ever think this whole thing's totally organised?
Call the code slow.
Code slow.
Especially the elderly operations centre part.
09er.
Could I ever just...
Could I have some, I think it looked like a leg of lamb or some sausages?
Need to get some sausages, love.
How big would you like the leg?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
And luckily, of course, no one hit the grannies or got hurt or got injured. Because if they did, then they would need a lawyer. Especially if you were perhaps in America and you got injured, you would definitely need a lawyer. Which brings me into the sponsor of today's video, Morgan & Morgan. The idea of hiring a lawyer seems daunting. It shouldn't be. Because if you are ever injured and you don't know where to start, with Morgan & Morgan, it is so easy. They're a 21st century law firm that has modernized the injury law process. In 8 clicks or less, you can submit a claim to Morgan & Morgan without ever having to leave the couch. A lawyer will review your case and you can go over case details, contracts, and upload documents all from your phone. And you can even just text your legal team rather than go to meetings in person. So if you are ever injured in an accident, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Again, you can submit a claim in 8 clicks or less without ever having to leave your couch. For more info, go to forthepeople.com or dial #law. That's #529 from your cell phone. Okay, back to the episode Taxi.
Okay, let's go.
Let's talk about all the Aussie slang words or just Australian words that they used in this episode and their translations.
Can I put that stroller in the boot for you?
So of course we have boot, which means trunk,
It's our sat-nav.
Oh, here we go.
sat-nav, which means GPS,
I think it was right. I'm not quite sure. Let's just see where this takes us.
and kudos to Chili as the GPS in this. She is just like on fire with like the funny jokes and the distractions with the kebab shop and the dress shop.
Wait, I recognize that kebab shop. Turn left here. Actually, there is a really good dress shop around here.
Sat-nav, focus!
Oh yes, sorry.
I loved just how she got to relax basically the whole time, but was like such a funny sat-nav.
Oh no, this isn't right.
Oh, come on!
Sorry.
We also of course have a reference to petrol, which means gas over here in America.
Oh, sorry about this, but we're out of petrol.
Ah!
And I saw this pop up a few times where people didn't know what Bandit was calling those old grannies when he said old chooks, as in chook, chicken.
Ah, hurry up, you old chooks!
So I know in some other countries the term might be like old birds or old hens, like how you'd refer to like two elderly ladies like talking to each other. In Australia we would say old chooks, but it's like one of those things that like you would never say it to them because they might like take offense of it.
Ah, old people.
We also, of course, have 2 references to Australian locations. The first being Tasmania, of course, never to be forgotten, and technically an overseas trip as well.
Thanks. I'm late for my flight to Tasmania.
Yes, sir.
But also they go to Stumbly-tastics, which is absolutely a reference to Tumble-tastics, which is a children's gymnasium program in Brisbane.
Sat-nav, take us to Stumbly-tastics, please.
Now, let's talk about the weird censorship that happened with this episode. So this started out censored on Disney Plus and Disney Junior, and it was the very end scene where Bandit says, "Oh, biscuits," and then the, Millicent barfs up onto his lap.
Oh, biscuits.
Yeah.
However, initially that barfing scene was cut and it would just be Bandit saying, "Oh, biscuits," and then that was the end and the credits would roll. So for some reason they cut this out, and I don't know why, because they then put it back up on Disney Plus, but apparently it's still cut on Disney Junior, and it is also still cut on all Disney platforms throughout Southeast Asia. And in case you didn't know, if you think the Bluey censorship in America is really bad, the Bluey censorship in Southeast Asia is so much worse. Almost every episode has something missing out of it practically. It is insane just how much more censorship happens in Southeast Asia than it does over in the US. But as for why this part was censored, I guess the idea of showing someone throwing up on another person perhaps, but then they already had her barfing on Bandit in the taxi scene as well, but maybe because that was a bit more covered up and you couldn't really see the action, it was different.
Yeah.
Ah! This baby is vomiting all over me.
I don't really understand it, so if any of you cheeky dogs have any idea why, let me know in that comment section down below.
What's that smell?
Baby vomit.
Oh,
But some of the extra fun little details that maybe you might have missed is that Bluey is driving on the right side, which is the side that we drive on in Australia. It is the opposite to most other countries. We also have some cute little dog details with the bone on Bingo's mechanic cap, and also her just as the mechanic, and the whole doodad joke is just so funny.
Oh yeah, love. Fix your doodad. Oh, the doodad. Yeah, love, you need a new doodad. Okay, a new doodad. It's this doodad. Oh, right, a new doodad. Yeah, love.
We also have the dog drawing on the sat-nav as well, and the B and C magnets on the fridge to signify Bandit and Chili. One of the best parts though, I think, of this episode that I've noticed mostly got a lot of memes and gifs made out of it was, of course, the swearing guide from Bandit and all the different ways that he basically does child-friendly swearing.
Cheese and crackers. Beans on toast. Oh, goodness gravy! Oh, biscuits.
Overall, though, this episode is really interesting, especially coming after the episode Wagon Ride. Wagon Ride was very much a how-to-parent guide episode, I felt.
Then I'll do this to show you that I know you're there and that you want to talk to me. What do you think?
Yeah.
Whereas this episode is very much a how to play a game on a rainy day episode. There are no character arcs, there's no deeper meaning, and there's no problem really to solve or any type of life lesson, I guess, in this episode. It really is just showing us how to set up a really fun game when it is raining outside. It uses all these easy items from around the house that you can use just to set up a taxi. Everyone has a role, and the parents are very much sort of dictating how the game will go.
Can I just check? You won't break down or get lost or pick up another passenger, will you?
Of course not.
And then, of course, ending up in the airplane pilot scene at the end, which is so fun. And I love the whole swivel chair action going on.
I demand to speak to the pilot.
Yoo-hoo! That's me. I'm the pilot.
But again, it's very much a this is what it can look like and how to set it up kind of thing. So even though the music is amazing and of course made it onto the album and everything, I would still probably give this episode 3 out of 5 long dogs. So let me know in that comment section down below how many long dogs you would give this episode out of 5, and what did you think of this episode of being a how-to guide? Is it something that you like to rewatch, or do you sometimes skip this episode? I want to know all your thoughts down below. And again, while you're there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that bell for notifications so you know when my next video comes out. But until then, I have picked you cheeky dogs out a few other videos that maybe you would like to watch, and I will see you all in another video. Mwah! Bye!